Today we head to Richmond, Virginia, where voters are casting their ballots in a truly historic race. On Tuesday, November 4th, 2025, the Commonwealth will elect a new governor, and in doing so, both parties will measure their strength for what lies ahead. This is more than just a state election, it's a national barometer. On the Democratic side is Abigail Spanberger, a former U.S. congresswoman and a former CIA case officer. With her intelligence community background, she positions herself as a centrist, focused on economic issues, healthcare, and restoring stability. She emphasizes kitchen table issues like cost of living and has spent heavily to tie her opponent to Trump-era policies. If elected, she would become Virginia's first ever woman governor, a landmark in an election where both top candidates are women.
Anywhere I travel across Virginia, people are talking about affordability. You know, housing costs, the cost to buy a house has gone up 18% the past 4 years. The cost of renting a place gone up 14%. It's impacting people's choices, their abilities to chart a path forward, their ability to downsize or upsize depending upon where they are in their lives. When you go to the prescription counter and you wait to hear what that price tag is before you decide if you're going home with your medication, that is not what should be driving the choices of Virginians. And when we live in a place where so frequently day to day people just see the prices eking up, and Tim hit it right on the head. Halloween candy, it's up. Halloween costumes, it's up. Everything. It's just a bit harder. And so we need a governor who has a plan to lower costs in housing, healthcare, and energy. And let me be very clear, it won't be easy. But we need a governor who is looking at all of the reasons why those costs are going up and pulling on every lever through the administration and in concert with the General Assembly to ensure that we are pursuing every angle.
Facing her is Republican Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earle-Sears, a staunch conservative who would, if elected, make history not only as Virginia's first woman governor, but as the first black woman elected governor in any U.S. state. She supports the agenda of outgoing Governor Glenn Youngkin, emphasizing culture war issues such as transgender athletes, immigration enforcement, and conservative economic policy. Interestingly, while aligned with Trump-style policies, she has not secured full-throated support from Trump himself, signaling potential tension between her campaign and the president.
When my opponent says that when it comes to her candidate for Attorney General saying that 2 bullets to the head for his political opponent and that the wife of his political opponent was breeding, quote unquote, fascists, and that they needed to die too, the 2 children, and all she says is, well, she is disgusted, and then she is unhappy. Unhappy, Abigail? Wait a minute. Unhappy, Abigail? About murder? How about you get a backbone and tell him he needed to get out of the race? How about you do that?
This isn't just a local election. Virginia has become a bellwether state, a measurement of momentum for both the Democratic and Republican parties heading into the 2026 midterms. Trump's imprint looms large. On one hand, Republicans want to show that a candidate in the Trump mold can still win in a state he has lost repeatedly. On the other hand, Democrats see this as a chance to show their center-left strategy is still viable. Yet Trump himself has stayed notably passive. He hasn't personally campaigned in or strongly endorsed Earle-Sears. That undercuts the usual party-based mobilization you'd expect.
Worse with the lieutenant
well,
governor?
I think the Republican candidate is very good, and I think she should win because the Democrat candidate's a disaster. So I haven't been too much involved in Virginia. I love the state. I did very well in the state. But I will tell you, I think the Republican candidate is excellent, and I think the Democrat candidate is a disaster. I mean, I watched her in the debate. She couldn't answer the most basic question. And, you know, a big thing with that race and also the race in New Jersey is going to be energy. Both of the Democrats are going to drive the energy prices through the roof. Through the roof. Your energy is going to double and triple. If the Republican gets elected, your energy is going to be coming down by 70, 80%. Thank you very much, everybody. Vote Republican.
Whomever wins becomes Virginia's first woman governor. And if Earle-Sears prevails, she becomes the first black woman governor in the U.S. This is historic on multiple levels. On the ground, early voting turnout is already high. Over 1.4 million votes cast during early voting, surpassing the 2021 mark.
Our country and our politics are in a pretty dark place right now. It's hard to know where to start. Because every day, this White House offers up a fresh batch of lawlessness and recklessness and mean-spiritedness and just plain craziness. We got a president who thinks it's okay to use the Justice Department to go after his political opponents. Hey, wait, don't boo. Vote. They don't hear boos, they hear votes. So we've got a president who replaces career prosecutors with loyalists who will do what he wants, and now he's telling them what he wants is for them to hand over millions of taxpayer dollars that he had to pay in expenses for previously violating the law. We've got a commander-in-chief who fires decorated officers because he thinks they might be more loyal to the Constitution than they are to him. He's deploying the National Guard in American cities, claiming to stop crime waves that don't actually exist. We've got masked ICE agents pulling up in unmarked vans and grabbing people, including U.S. citizens, off the streets on the suspicion that they don't look like real Americans. We've got an HHS secretary who opposes proven science and promotes quack medicine. A top White House aide who calls Democrats, the whole party, domestic extremists. We've got some poor labor economists who got fired for accurately reporting bad jobs numbers that the president didn't like.